Alyssa Doneski, and I am reporting live from Decatur, Illinois. It is currently December 6th out, and as you can see, it is quite dark for only being 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Some find it very interesting that only a few short months ago that the sun was still out and shining at this time. Some may call this the worst thing on Earth, but we here call it science. Dating back to 1918, when daylight savings time was just first established, Ben Franklin was the man who proposed the idea here in the U.S., only to help us save money on energy. What a guy. Going beyond Franklin, in 1895, George Hudson from New Zealand came up with the concept of daylight savings time. He proposed a 2-hour shift that we would have 2 more hours of daylight so he can go bug hunting in the summer. Sounds fun, right? Years later, another man named William Willett also hit on the same idea while he was horseback riding. He took his idea to the England Parliament, and well, unfortunately, it got shut down. He later then was followed by his death in 1915. Soon after, in 1916, only 2 years into World War I, almost every country that fought in World War I adopted this daylight savings time, including the U.S., on March 9th, 1918. So enough about the history, let's get into the science portion about why some days are shorter and some days are longer throughout the year. Alyssa Doneski reporting live from ESS News. Brittany, back to you.
Thanks, Alyssa. Today we are here with scientist Dr. D, who specializes in the Earth's orbital position and seasons. Now, Dr. D, what is the reasoning behind some days being longer than others throughout the course of a year?
I would just like to start out by saying that the days getting shorter and longer don't stem from some government made-up thing or some guy that wanted to go horseback riding for 2 extra hours in the summer. It's a matter of fact, it's part of geography and the Earth's orbit.
What would you say causes this type of phenomena to happen?
So to start off, Earth rotates on its axis every 24 hours, so that entails a day for us. And while Earth is constantly moving on its axis, it's also moving in an orbital motion or revolution, also around the sun. So with that being said, that's when our seasons come into play, and that's how they can change. So they are the result of the different sun angles in which we receive, and in the end that also changes the amount of daylight that we receive during the year. And the Earth's rotational axis is at a tilt of about 23.5 degrees. So in our summer months, we are tilted towards the sun, but in our winter months, we are tilted away from the sun.
Very interesting. Now, there has been talk about the summer and winter solstice. I have heard about this before, but could you elaborate on what they are and what happens during this time?
Well, the summer solstice for us in the United States is around June 21st. So that's usually our longest day of the year since we are tilted again towards the sun. So the sun will be at its highest angular position in the sky, and so depending on where you are in the world, you can be receiving between 9 and 24 hours of sunlight during this time, and then roughly here in the U.S., we would be receiving between 13 and 15, roughly depending, and then now with the winter solstice, this is usually around December 21st, so this would be our shortest day of the year, since again, we're tilted away from the sun. And then here the sun is at its lowest angular position in the sky, also depending on where you are in the world, you will receive between 9 and 24 hours of sunlight, and then again in the U.S. we would be receiving between 9 and 10, just as a reference.
Wow, you really know your stuff, Doctor. What Alyssa was saying about why those men wanted more daytime makes complete sense. To add an extra hour in the summer and then take that extra hour away during the winter, it's brilliant. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Dr. D, for all your insightful knowledge on this topic that I'm sure our viewers did not know.
Yes, of course, no problem. I always love talking about science and being featured on ESS News.